Did you guys hear about Destiny though? I mean, we may talk about this more later, but apparently Destiny was still sending revenge porn of people after the leaks came out. Oof. I mean, I guess now that some shit has leaked, LMAO, if you want videos of me eating, I've got them. Ha 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 ha, no, don't show me that. These are super private. I can't even imagine how it feels to have something so private be so public, even if you are poly and very sexual in general. This motherfucking guy gets leaks. Meanwhile, it started to come out that Destiny was just sending the shit to anyone. Basically, he'd be like, hi, are you a woman? Here's 8 videos of other women who had sex with me. Like, I don't know if you saw this, but there's another liberal weirdo, Ethan Klein, doing the Nazi salute. Like, your reaction to this should just be like attention acquired. Like, you should feel like if you're like, oh no, I'm mad at him, you're falling into his trap. Like, you look at Ethan Klein and just be like, he's pathetic. He's just a fucking loser. Like, okay. It's like the content nuke. How do I feel about the content nuke? You know, I have a lot of different opinions on it. And like, part of it is I don't even want to click on it in my account. Like, I don't want to give it any algorithmic touch. I feel like a lot of people are going to hate watch it and comment bullshit on it, and that's going to boost the algorithm. I mean, his main channel is kind of dead. So he's trying to revive it. Because his H3 show channel is dying, he's trying to go to his bigger channel that's now basically dead. And he's posting this drama shit to try to revive his bigger channel. That's what's happening. Like, you guys think this is all about like him being a Zionist or him hating Hassan? No, this is him grifting this entire topic to try to revive his dead as fuck main channel that doesn't have videos posted on it anymore. So it's algorithmically moribund. So now what he's doing is he's trying to take the... This is what's happening. So, like, I don't want to fall into that trap. You know, I don't want to fall into the trap of, like, taking what he's saying seriously. He doesn't believe in anything. He doesn't believe in anything. He's a stupid guy. He's a stupid rich guy. Like, there's nothing to it. He's not going to say anything new. You know, he got all of his, quote, research from DGG clips, and he thinks that if he puts all of these clips taken out of context right next to each other, he'll create some sort of narrative that people will believe. And guess what? He's right about that. That's how it works. People believe shit all the time. People believe all sorts of wild and crazy shit about me. Like, I left my wife and children on Christmas. I wasn't married. I don't have any kids. But this is a narrative that people have spread, and many people believe it. It's just one of those things that occasionally you'll see when you know, people, when I pop up, people will say all sorts of stuff. Like, somebody recently said Mike is anti-China. That was posted in Hoscord. I heard about that. I was like, huh? Somebody said Mike just does drama. Now, to be fair, I'm doing it right now because this stuff is funny and necessary. And I've changed my opinion. I want to be honest. I want to be completely transparent. If you're one of those people, you don't ever watch my stream. That's why you say dumb shit like that. But I am intentionally covering this topic of Destiny's crash out and Ethan Klein's crash out because it's necessary, because these people are trying to deplatform me and Hassan, you dumb pieces of shit. We can't ignore them and let them to rule the narrative. Normally, who would give a shit? But these people are actively trying to put us in prison / ban the ability to criticize the U.S. military because they're obsessed with us because they're narcissistic freaks. Now, Ethan doesn't know who I am. Well, Ethan knows who I am, but he's scared to show any of my shit. He's much more comfortable attacking denims, which, you know, I wonder why that is. I wonder why the man, why he's much more comfortable attacking Denim. It's whatever. Ultimately, it doesn't matter. I personally don't even care. Like, I don't even want Ethan Klein's audience to come here. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, oh no, people that are really kind of stupid and like bad comedy. I'm sorry, we're not gonna be watching, you know, I'm not gonna be putting blackface on. You know, I'm not gonna be screaming racial slurs, so they're not gonna stick around. Like, it's pointless. Who gives a shit? The only thing that Ethan and I have in common is bad clothing. Except I don't try to sell it to you. From Pump merch? Oh, hell yeah, dude. I unintentionally saw Lonerbox's cry because he didn't like that you said we never let anyone forget you are a genocide apologist. And I was like, yeah, Mike. Oh, he cried about that? Please show me the clip immediately. That'll make my day. And by the way, unless he, okay, I'll be magnanimous at Lonerbox. Hey, Lonerbox, man. If you come out and say that you were wrong about Israel and Israel is probably committing a genocide and you got swept up into a social milieu and you started saying things that without thinking because you were defending your friends, but now you realize they weren't ever actually your friends and it's a source of tremendous shame. If you just say you were wrong, Israel is likely causing a genocide and you're sorry, I will stop. I will say, Mike from PA, this is for you, man. You were right. If you say that or something substantially similar, but you have to include Mike was right in it, then I'll let off. Then I will let people forget. But you have to admit what you did was wrong, and you have to start changing your position, and you have to start publicly speaking out against what Israel did in Gaza. If you don't do that, we're never going to let you forget. And now he did a content nuke on Markiplier so he could get better numbers again. You know what's happening right now, chat? Is a lot of fascists they're way ahead of their skis right now. You know, Donald Trump won the popular vote, didn't even get a majority. The Republicans barely got control of the House. And they're like, they think they've won everything. They think they, you know, everybody agrees with them. Now, they're fighting against the Democratic Party, which is a non-entity. So I get why you feel like you're king of the world. But, like, they're way ahead of their skis, man. They're way ahead of their skis. And some of the stuff that's stupid will fall off, right? Like, some of the most annoying fucking rad lib bullshit that we all hate, we should probably let that die, right? Like, I'll give you an example of something that's rad lib bullshit. Oh, fuck. Let me see if I can find it. This is the type of stuff that needs to die out. I hate to use this clip. I know I'm using a right-winger's clip, but I don't care. The point remains. The point fucking remains. This is the DNC Chair Forum.
In this round, so I'm going to, I have a show of hands. How many of you believe that racism and misogyny played a role in Vice President Harris's defeat?
I wouldn't raise my hand. I would not raise my hand. This is baby shit. This shit needs to go. This shit needs to go. This shit needs to go. I don't care if you think that it did. I don't give a fuck. Kamala Harris did not lose because of racism and misogyny. The racists and misogynists always vote Republican, and they have voted Republican since fucking 1970. Okay? Like, could you stop with this? There isn't a bunch of racists and misogynists hanging out in the Democrats in 2024 who are going, I would have voted for a white man, but I have to vote for the Republicans now. No. Barack Obama did better than Joe Biden. Okay? Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up with this. Does it mean racism and misogyny aren't real? Yes. But these people are blaming those effects to avoid accountability. There is more than enough people that were willing to vote for a black woman to win the election. That is not what caused her to lose. Stop it. This is bullshit. This is radlib bullshit. This is to distract from something that we can actually change to something that we can't change. Because if they believe this is true, What's the conclusion of this? The purpose of the Democratic Party is to win elections, right? If you think that racism and misogyny cause Kamala Harris to lose, what's the corollary? The corollary is we only run white men now? We only run white men from the end of time? Because, hey, it's just math. As long as you pick the right white men, it's fine. But, hey, if only white men can win, then if you're a political party, I guess that means you only run white men. Or you don't want to win. That's called pragmatism. Now, if you object to me saying that, then you should object to raising this stupid fucking hand. But the reason why everybody's raising their hand is because if they don't raise their hand, they'll be called a racist and a sexist for the end of time. Because they know radlibs will follow them around, not because they care about racism or sexism, but because they're opposed to their politics. I oppose Mike's from politics. Am I going to argue against Mike's positions? No. I'm just going to say Mike is a class reductionist. Mike is a racist. Mike is this. Mike is that. So that he's constantly on the defensive. This is why the Democratic Party has to go. And if you're a radical and you're listening to this to me and you're going, Mike, you're actually wrong. No, we should lean in this even more. America. And then you take out your self-flagellation gear and you go, America is racist. America is sexist. America is racist. America is sexist. Okay, it is. I agree with you. What are you saying? You're not saying anything. You know how you stop America from being racist and sexist? You redistribute political power and economic power. Just getting people to say that as everybody who is the families of slave owners continue to be the richest people in America. Perhaps that system of words isn't actually effective. Now, this is my most radical position. And if you don't like this, you can't, then please explain why. When I showed liberals by 30+ polls showing the election genocide would cost Kamala the election, I was told I was a racist Trump supporter. Pathetic.
I'm only speaking for myself.
By the way, chat, there is an old saying in the American South. A hit dog hollers. A hit dog hollers. That's an old American saying. What does that mean? It means that when you are saying something that is exposing the essence of your enemy in a way they don't like, they will immediately start whining about how it's not fair and you're mean.
He DM'd me. He actually sent me he unblocked me to send me a message on Twitter. Okay. Hey man, just want you to know that we are never going to let you forget. Every time you poke your head up, we are going to expose you as a genocide apologist forever.
That is true. I did send him that. That is true. That is true. When he quit, when he said he was going to quit, I sent him that. It is true. I did do that. I admit it. I admit it. I did do that. That is true. I did do that. He's right.
Genocide apologist forever. He took a new line to say forever. And if that was, he unblocked me after sending this, by the way, just to get one in, just to get a little jab in on the couch. And then he also commented on the stream with a little gloat. And it's interesting now that he's being so performative about his support for Pixie, and he's been out there fundraising and shit on his stream.
By the way, I will say this, chat. I will say this. I am not being performative with Pixie. I am doing everything I can to help Pixie, and I will continue to do so because she's an innocent victim. I don't particularly like the people that are in Destiny's orbit, or because most of them have tried their best to try to bully me. They make up they have stories they've invented that are shibboleth within Destiny's community, where they just tell themselves stories about the enemies of the community, like me and Hassan, that they say to each other that have no bearing on reality. And some of the stories are more effective than others based on their own insecurities, right? Like the stories they invent about me, the ones they think are really funny, it's actually revealing of their own insecurities. It's all projecting. You know, that's what they do. When they talk about like political irrelevance or political inability to affect change in the real world, they're actually talking about themselves. When they talk about anything, it's always a projection, which makes it very easy to laugh at. And indeed, I did do an LOL at his retirement stream. That is true, because he is a scumbag. He is a scumbag. And by the way, just because Pixie is not somebody who was really nice to me for years doesn't mean that I'm going to let her be a victim. The moment I saw exactly that this person needed help, I immediately rushed to give this person help. And I would do the same to anyone. Whether it gets me profit or not, it doesn't matter. So you can call it performative if you want. I don't give a shit. Most of the stuff I'm doing behind the scenes anyway. Sometimes as an American, you want to smoke a Cuban cigar along with a beautiful public bike path along a river in China. China will win. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. They already did, really. Okay, anyway, let's keep going. This is funny.
Which is
interesting. In case you want to know what kind of guy Lonerbox is, just one more point before we continue. This is Lonerbox trying to make a play for DGG audience. Like, Lonerbox sees that DGG is kind of, you know, at least a section of them are disgusted with Destiny's crimes, right? You know, the hardest of the hardcore are going to stay with Destiny, just like the hardest of the hardcore stayed with Vaush, right? When Vaush was exposed for, you know, being a pedophile, zoophilic pedophile, a lot of his audience left, but some of it stayed. Similarly with Destiny, if he keeps being able to make content, it's going to be the same. He's calling it performative because these people have no concept of having principles. It's actually different. No, you're wrong. Brain Fonda, you're wrong. People like Lonerbox and Destiny, they understand what it's like to have principles. They think it's a weakness. Like, you're wrong. They understand that I do have principles. They think of that as a weakness of mine. They think, oh, Mike believes in this, which means Mike will defend this even when it doesn't look good. Mike will defend these arguments. Mike will stand alone. So all I have to do is engineer a situation where Mike is forced to defend something on his own. And then I can gang up on him. They see that as a weakness and a vulnerability. They don't understand true strength. They think that strength is winning. See, somebody like Lonerbox, you never try to lift a bar that is heavier than what you think you can lift. You only go for the guaranteed wins because, again, he doesn't believe in anything. He sees it as a weakness. He sees my kindness, my good faith, my intellectual consistency, my beliefs to be a weakness. He's playing a different game than I am, right? Like, his game is, how do I manipulate people socially to gain profit for myself? My game is, how do I convince people that we're all on this same boat and we need to pull together in solidarity to build a better world? That's the game I'm playing. The game he's playing is, how do I manipulate you socially so that I get attention and money and my life is good? And once you understand that about people like Lonerbox, that he'll spend more time trying to attack and mock me on this video. I'm not even sure. I haven't watched it. Than he will attacking or mocking Destiny, because he knows where his bread is buttered and he's a cuck. He's a soul cuck. Right? Which is why he's not going to watch this clip, because he knows it's true. He knows it's very, very true. It is deep down in his heart. He understands that Destiny has him by the balls. And he's an amoral fuck.
Interesting, because given the fact that he already seems to have a whiff that something pretty bad had happened here with this, given that something bad had happened, he still decided to just gloat about it, first of all, to just take it out on me. Like, that's mental. And
actually, are you illiterate? I was saying, Bad and Panada has made it clear the actual reason why Lonerbox is quitting content creation is apparently his girlfriend cheated on him with Destiny and leaked revenge porn of the act. His attack on Hassan is a smokescreen to distract from that. Cuck by Destiny, yikes. Two things. One, you're a cuck. Two, now I don't think this is actually true, by the way. I want to correct this. I don't think Pixie cheated on him with Destiny. That's not true, actually. What happened is, okay, I'm not even going to talk about Pixie's relationship with Destiny because it's not my business. Even though I know the facts, I'm just not going to do that. What I was trying to point out, and this is how evil he is. He's such a sociopath. He's such a freak. He can only think about himself. He can't think about this in the context of reality, which is he's helping Destiny cover up the leaked revenge porn of his own girlfriend. That is the thing that is important. He's helping Destiny cover it up. He's attacking Assad to distract from Destiny, you dumbass. That's why he put his head down and quit, because he didn't want to hurt Destiny. He would rather take it on the chin for Destiny to help Destiny cover up. That's what I was trying to point out, you dumbass. Jesus Christ, you're stupid. The Cuck by Destiny stuff is just a jab at him and it is making fun of him. But it turns out to be not true. It turns out to be not true. So I apologize for that part, because you know, now that I look at that in hindsight, that was bad on my part because I didn't know the relationship dynamics between Pixie and them. So it's not really, I shouldn't have. I kind of had a stray and hit Pixie, even though I didn't name her in here because I didn't want her to get the attention from it. I was just talking about Destiny and Lonerbox and Lonerbox's position relative to Destiny, which is, it doesn't matter what Destiny does to people, to Lonerbox or people Lonerbox loves. Lonerbox is on his hands and knees. That's the most important thing to remember. Lonerbox, you are a fucking loser. Check my logs, birds of a feather. Oh my God. Lonerbox was also creep posting to fans like Destiny. More from a random fan calling out Lonerbox for sexting her. Oh my God. So he was doing the same Destiny shit? Oh my God. I guess birds of a feather. I mean, everything makes sense now. Everything makes sense. Everything makes sense.
The reason he believes all this is not because he watched my stream and misinterpreted what I said or anything like that, or misread what happened on Kiwi Farms or whatever else. He did this because he saw it in a Bad Empanada video. I think TLDR, guys, just a little public service announcement. Don't get your news from Bad Empanada, okay? Please. He's a liar. He's a professional liar. It's his job.
Okay, so by the way, chat, in a standard rhetoric, so what he's doing here is he's leading with the conclusion. Now, we don't usually do that here. We try not to lead with the conclusion. What you try to do is maybe you'll have a thesis statement, right? You'll be like, I believe that Bad Empanada may not be trustworthy. Let's look at the facts. And then you draw together your facts. And then at the end there you say, Bad Empanada, as I have demonstrated, is unreliable and is a liar. And you can't trust him. Now, that's what a normal argument would proceed, right? But in Destiny's community, they're very fucking stupid. All right? So what they do is they tell their audience what to believe, and they try to rely on interpersonal, parasocial relationships, as opposed to respecting their audience enough to make the argument. Now, I'm very excited to hear the reasons that Bad Empanada is a liar. If you're not subscribed to Bad Empanada, what are you doing? First of all, go in there and subscribe immediately.
To lie to you, okay? Like, that's his job. Like, he's a liar. He literally took every single part of the story, botched all of it, and then just, this video's still up. Every single detail about this is wrong. And this is all when they've already got an inkling that someone has been leaking sexual videos without consent. And they're just gloating about it.
The person who did that was Destiny. We're not gloating about that. The person we're trying to prosecute or sue is Destiny, the criminal. He's the one who was leaking, quote, the porn. He was the one sending it to dozens of people without their consent. That was Destiny. Eventually, somebody who he sent it to posted it publicly. But the person who originally committed the crime, The proximate cause of the leaking was Destiny. You fucking, you pathetic fucking loser, dude.
And making cuck jokes and like, come on, hang on. It's funny as well.
Stuff because you are legitimately an intellectual cuck. Now, by the way, I'm correcting this. Because apparently the person didn't cheat. They did not cheat. But but you're still you have the essence of a cuck, right? Because like, sure, she may not have cheated on you, which is not something that you did. It's something she did. She is legitimately a good person who holds to her word, right? And doesn't take advantage of people. You aren't, right? You were sexting fans at the same time, right? In reality, Lonerbox, you're a moral cuck in the sense that you know that someone you had a relationship was being violated by another man and having their trust broken. And what did you do? You slunk away. And you helped them cover it up. The intellectual cuck.
Because he also decided to go on and make a correction of this, but like the correction he made was wrong as well. I wonder if it's, yeah. He made a correction after he realized that everything he said in this video was total bullshit. And then still everything was wrong again. He said that what? Oh, it might not be true that I was cheated on, etc., etc. But then he still goes on to say that like, oh, he must be staying quiet because he's trying to sweep or anything like that. It's just like, what a state. And he also decides to disparage Pixie at the end here as well.
Please do not go for looking up anything about this person because regardless of the weirdness of sleeping with Destiny being Lonerbox's girlfriend, she is ultimately a victim of straight up crimes at Destiny's hand. Thank you. What is that? First of all, that's not disparaging. That's not disparaging. He's literally telling his audience, don't attack the victim, even if they have things about them that are embarrassing. He's like, this isn't disparagement. Incredible.
Weirdness of sleeping with, like, come on. So that was interesting. It was also, at the very least, Hassan was willing to say, oh, I'm not sure about that when he heard this story for the first time. He signal boosted the shit out of it and then said, oh, I don't know about all that. That sounds crazy. So, a little bit having it both ways. In case you're wondering, by the way, because I guess she's maybe a bit too polite to do it, but in case you're wondering who this tweet is about.
Okay,
also,
by the way, chat, I want you to understand, this is not about me. This is not about me. 100% not about me. Lonerbox is just making this up. I think she's talking about President Sunday. This has nothing to do with me. In fact, I want you to know that we're doing everything I can to conform, and I am doing everything I can to conform with Pixie's wishes. If Pixie wants me not to do something, all Pixie has to do is ask, and I would immediately act it exactly the way she wants. I have not done one thing, publicly or privately, against Pixie's wishes. And what Lonerbox is trying to do here is trying to get me to come out and try to reveal if I have any private contact with Pixie. He's basically doing a sounding operation for Destiny. To this day, he's still trying to get me, if I know anything about Pixie privately, he's trying to get me to reveal it with this comment. He is still on Destiny's team. What a pathetic fucking loser. I am not going to help you defend Destiny, Lonerbox.
if you're a leftist who has talked about this.
Did she say you made her cry and thank you on Twitter? Yes, she did. It's because we raised so much money for her lawsuit. We raised like $20-some thousand for her lawsuit on this community. This is what Pixie thinks of me. Streamer Pixie Love has successfully raised over $27,301 to fund her lawsuit for revenge porn against streamer Destiny, aka Stephen Kenneth Bedell II. It's Cherry filed a criminal complaint this morning against Destiny for secretly recording her during a sexual encounter. And she quote tweeted, "Thank you guys so much for the fundraising. I am so incredibly grateful beyond words. Every time I see the amount of support behind me, I cry a little bit. All tears of joy, though, don't worry." That is the reality. She is, if she hated me, if she thinks I'm mistreating her, she would not have quote retweeted me in a positive fashion about how I'm giving her tears of joy. Now, it's not just me. It's everybody who helped her fundraise. Lonerbox, you are the lowest form of life on the planet. Your career isn't going anywhere, buddy. You might as well just quit. Just do what you were going to do. Go get that retail job. Go. Just go. You think Destiny's going to remember what you did? He's going to treat you like the scum that you are. Now, he's a scumbag, but like, just go, man.
Situation without so much contacting me, you owe me an apology. On top of being a victim of revenge porn, I now have to deal with people lying about my dating life and further dehumanization of me. Yeah, this is about Bad Empanada and President Sunday. Yeah, this is obviously about them. Obviously, none of them care. Big deal. Anyway.
What a loser.
What a mess. Obviously, Hassan, bless his heart.
By the way, you if you want to know who Lonerbox is, if you want to know why, Mike, why do you hate this guy so much? Because doctors and nurses who served in Gaza, American doctors and nurses who went to Gaza to provide medical treatment for the people of Gaza, documented dozens and dozens of examples with pictures and diagnostic pictures of children of Gaza being deliberately targeted by Israeli snipers and drones. Children deliberately targeted and murdered. And they came back to the United States and they went to the New York Times and they published an op-ed and they showed the New York Times editors the evidence. And it was published by the New York Times of Israel deliberately targeting children in Gaza. And he tried to do a "that's not how snipers work" thing. Now, I don't know what sniper unit he served with, but he was out there calling those American doctors and medical professionals liars. This is the guy who calls me a liar, by the way. What? What did I lie about, bud? You frolicked in Israel with Elon Levy, who was such a liar. He was fired by Israel. I'll say that again. Israel's official spokesman, Elon Levy, got fired by Benjamin Netanyahu for lying too much. You hung out with that guy. You were smiling and frolicking with that guy. You are the definition of a scumbag. There he is. There you are. This is the essence of who Lonerbox is. Never forget. Never forget that this guy is a genocide defender. Never forget that when Destiny violated somebody that he was supposedly in a relationship with, he put his head down and hid, as opposed to standing up to Destiny. You pathetic fucking loser. Also, he's such a Did Destiny pick out your shirt, man? Like, it looks like you guys got the same stylist. I've never seen someone this fucking... This is the most pathetic loser I've ever seen in my entire life. Yeah, we already watched that video. What a pathetic fucking loser,
with this as well. Lonerbox quit streaming because of Hassan. Again, never said that. Never said I was quitting. Never said my stepping back was because of him. This tweet is fake. Yeah, obviously, I just... Dumb fuck. It's funny that Hassan actually thought this, though. He thought that I decided to take a step back.
No, you literally said, this is the other thing that's very funny. You literally said that Hassan watching videos about you being a genocide denier. Now, you didn't say you were a genocide. You said, Hassan watched videos about Empanada and now my channel is dying. And you blame Hassan rather than your own actions, you dumb piece of shit. If there's one person in the entire planet who doesn't attack people unfairly, it's Hassan. In fact, I think Hassan is too nice. This is something that I've said many times to him. I'm just like, you are too good faith. You are too nice. Like, you give people way too much runway, and they use it to attack you. Like, you're too nice. Now, I'm not saying you need to be me, but like, god damn, their bad faith 8 times, and Hassan lets him get away with it. That's always been my disagreement with Hassan. It is what it is. Now, I like Hassan being Hassan. As much as I say that, I actually don't want him to change. I like the fact that he's like this. I think it's good that he is one of those people that is always reaching out and is willing to forgive. I think that's good. Different strokes, different folks. You know, I'm not criticizing Hassan. I'm just saying in most of the interactions he's had with people who became his enemy, he was incredibly good faith. They are the ones who became hostile first.
Because I couldn't handle what was coming from him in terms of the amount of bullshit that he said about me. His response to that was just to say that he'd only spoken about me once. In this video...
Actually, Hassan promoted Lonerbox. When Lonerbox was a Destiny Orbiter who was attacking Hassan on a regular basis, he published a video about, like, Israel or something, and Hassan watched it, and I was like, don't promote this guy. He's anti-left. He's anti-you. This also isn't a good video. Like this is true. So if anything, Lonerbox got boosted by Hassan unwittingly. I don't know which dumb fucking chatter or mod or whatever gave him Lonerbox's videos as good, but I was malding about that when it happened. I was like, no, don't trust this fucking guy. He's a DGGer.
This video, Hassan just sits there and says, bro, I only talked about him once for 30 minutes. I'm like, mate, what are you talking about? You have an online footprint. We can see your videos. We can see the amount of times you've said that I was paid by the Israeli government to support war crimes. And like,
I don't think you're important enough to get paid by the Israeli government. I actually think that you did war crimes apologia for free. Like, if you got paid, I would at least respect you as a mercenary. Like, I would categorize you as a mercenary, but I think you're not smart enough to be a mercenary. Like, right? You're doing this for free. You're doing this because you were orbiting Destiny, and Destiny started to do genocide apologia because he saw it as an opportunity to get on debate shows, right? Like, you're defending crimes because you orbit an intellectual sophist and mercenary. So you're not even on that level. You're more of like a camp follower of a mercenary who's defending crimes. How many videos by Loader have Hassan in the thumbnail? I don't know. That's a good question. That's a good question. How many do you think? There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, 4 with fool and liar over their heads. There's another Destiny thumbnail. Let's see here. I don't want to like examine this. Terrorist apologia attacking majority report. Just something to notice. Left-wing anti-Semitism with my face, Hassan's face, Brogan's face, Denham's face, Badapanada's face. The dangers of left-wing anti-Semitism. Which has a problem. Brogan equating them with actual Nazis. Hassan again. There's another one. Another Badapanada. I mean, do you see it? There's more, right? Attacking Hakeem. Trump shooting Destiny gooning. So I guess this must be the first time he became aware of some of Destiny's crimes, and he just wanted to help him categorize it as gooning. Harmless gooning, chat. Who doesn't masturbate? You know, that's harmless gooning. He who cast the first stone. The Nakba is bullshit. Wow. Marxist-Leninist tries to white-splain ML. Orbit's a guy who regularly says the N-word and is trying to do racial shaming of leftists. Is there at one point, is there one issue where he's not a total scumbag? Not one. Not one. Another Hassan video. Another Hassan video. Literally defending Destiny in this debate where he looked like a total fucking idiot. Another anti-Frogan Hassan video. An anti-Taylor Lorenz. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, maybe he was pro-Taylor this time. Another pro-Destiny video. Another pro-Destiny video. Lav confronts Destiny. Does Destiny punch left too much?
People might not feel that when it comes to the vibes that are put on in the media when we talk about economic stability and when we talk about like.
When you have your fights like between left and right online, do you feel like you're doing it proportionately to the like political threat or power that they have, or do you have like other incentives in your head or like other?
I mean, it depends on
it?
what issues are popular at the time. It depends on who's existing in my particular sphere, and it depends on what
who's existing in my particular sphere. Wow, what an important thing.
In particular focusing on.
That's what I feel like I struggle with, is because when I used to watch you fight with leftists for the last like few years, I never really understood like the disproportionality of it, especially because of your leanings like politically, or more, probably definitely more left than right.
By the way, if you look at Destiny and say he leans more left than right because he votes for the Democratic Party, then you don't have a basic understanding of political reality and political science. Like, this is the problem with somebody like Lonerbox. Like, talking about him is just like honestly a drag on my channel. Like, he's so irrelevant that people that are here to hear me talk about politics leave because I'm talking about somebody as irrelevant as Lonerbox.
But then I noticed myself, for some reason, there's just something so much more tempting about going after like far left extremism than right wing. But I wonder if that's because it's people that you hold to a higher standard, or if it's just because it's like it feels worse when critique comes from your own side.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of two things. I think one is that they're just in your area more. Like, it would be weird if you went to the Republican National Convention or something and you took out your phone and you were fighting, you know, with far left people or something when you have so many Republicans around you to fight with, you know. And then two, I think that because you are supposedly aligned more on core values, the differentiation.
I don't have any core values with Destiny. I don't have any core values that align with Destiny. Not one thing. Not one thing.
Applied values is a lot more irritating. You know, if you're like if you're a 15 an hour far left person and you're sitting next to a Republican who doesn't believe in minimum wage, and it's like, okay, well, you're dumb. But if you're sitting next to somebody that purportedly shares your values, they're center left or whatever, or another far left person, and they don't want a 15-hour minimum wage, well, now there's like a huge problem. Like, the Republican.
You were a person who opposed a $15 minimum wage. My very first debate on this entire platform was on the $15 minimum wage against All Relevant. All Relevant was following Destiny and saying that a $15 minimum wage was not plausible. You're saying the $15 minimum wage, but that's an example of something that you were debating against and calling me economically illiterate for it. And by the way, chat, in the debate, I brought up evidence from an economist showing that that raising the minimum wage doesn't cause job loss or inflation, and that went on to later win the Nobel Prize. I brought up research that was so cutting edge that it went on to win the Nobel Economics Prize 2 years later for proving that the minimum wage does not cause increased inflation / job loss. And they were calling me economically illiterate at the time. That show, and now he tries to assume, now he's just like, oh, $50 minimum wage, that's common sense. Bitch, you were against it. And why was he against it?
Republicans not supposed to agree with you. The Republicans not supposed to support minimum wage. It's not part of their values. But another left-leaning person like you should be. So something is really wrong with them or really wrong with you.
That's
and
you.
That's, I think,
that's ironically, that was you.
where a lot of the fighting comes from.
I always feel like when it comes to, being in that specific area as well, because when far left people, they don't really have, I don't think they have really any power in like national politics, at least here in America. But this is one of the last countries on earth you're going to see like a socialist or communist revolution. But in social media, like in our space, they seem to have quite a lot of power, or at least a lot of influence. But at the end of the day, these are mostly people who are probably not going to vote, or if they do vote, they'll probably just vote Democrat.
Yeah,
So.
I was going to say their influence is definitely overblown. I feel like a lot of people just rather be keyboard warriors and go outside and actually like canvass and try to get people to vote. And
Whereas,
I think one of the things is that canvassing is also masturbatory. And this is this is the take that's going to be, that's damaging but true. But so because it is iconoclastic, it is necessary. Canvassing in the way that we do it for political campaigns is very ineffective. And the effectiveness of it increases in a variety of ways. Number one, it becomes more effective the longer the conversation you're having, which means you do less numbers, right? And two, it works more in places, in campaigns where there's not a lot of money spent. So people are having conversations with you without preconceived notions or opinions. Once you start dropping $30 million in ads into a campaign district, knocking on the door is not going to outweigh an opinion a person has of you that has been formed by like tens of millions of dollars of paid advertising to their face. Okay? Like, if I knocked on Dylan Burns' front door and had a conversation with him, do you think he would be like, I like Mike from PA now?
Republicans online, even though they're maybe harder to find or to get immediate access to, at least for me, they do vote and they do want to like maybe march on the Capitol again with a bit more practice this time.
Outside of like the burnt out hippie movement and those types of like older type of far leftists, there are more far leftists.
Hippie movement is not far leftist. It never was.
Among very young people, but there's a few problems. The first problem is those people don't really turn out to vote at the same rates of much older people who are not far left at all. And so even if at a higher percentage on average, they are on the far left, if you, number one, reject electoral politics, then you're not...
Okay, first, a couple of things here. This is a conversation of idiots, of midwits, with all due respect to Lonerbox there. This is a conversation of midwits. What are you going to do? Turn out and vote for Joe Biden? Like, guys, if we all just came out and voted for Joe Biden more, they would therefore produce far left candidates. What are you talking about? It's just it's a laughably stupid point. Voting for going out there and voting for Emmanuel Macron, is that going to make the left fucking grow? Is voting for Keir Starmer going to make the far left grow, you fucking dumbass? Like, of course not. We don't have, like, yeah, if there is a bunch of far left candidates with a legitimate mass party and they're running candidates, you should absolutely go out and vote for them. But voting for some right winger is not going to make the left stronger. It's just an asinine argument.
Come on. Anyway, it's just, again, seeing how all of this unfolded from these guys, from Mike, from Hassan, from Bada Panada, like, I don't really like the way most people have covered a lot of this with the sweeper hunting or the like punitive fucking internet mob justice or the way that
stop being so mean to the sex criminals. Guys, stop being so mean to the sex criminals who have been a blight on politics space for half of a decade. Let them get away from all their crimes. Let them commit their sexual crimes and abuse their audiences. Stop being so mean to them. Stop ruining my career.
Hankies have handled it, obviously, because I don't think any of them care about victims. They just care about destroying Steven. It's like,
hey, Lonerbox, how much have you raised for Pixie?
But the ineptitude of the way they've handled this as well. I swear, like, if there ever was a revolution, these guys they'd all be in the gulag with me. All of them. just for crimes of sheer ineptitude. It would be me, Hassan, Sunday, Bad Empanada, Mike from PA. We'd just be vibing. So
No, we wouldn't be vibing. We wouldn't be vibing. We'd drown you. We would. You know what they used to do in concentration camps with somebody who was a collaborator with fascism? Do you know what they would do? They would drown them in the latrine. Like, isn't that crazy what they would do?
hopefully that clears up a few things from my end. Hopefully. Ironically, the only person I think I've seen who's covered this with any level of like care and accuracy for all this has been fucking Queeman. I haven't watched that much of everyone, but he's the only one I think I've seen who was very careful not to leak details about people before anything went public, and after things happened, he was very careful to make sure he had like evidence for each particular claim. Like, yeah, he's probably the only one I think who came close to handling this with any level of responsibility. So it's funny that like the rest of the
you guys handle accusations with responsibility. The DGGer in chief, they're handling accusations with responsibility. When you just got off of encouraging people to accuse people of anti-Semitism off totally fabricated facts. Responsibly, guys.
community or from like the tanky sphere, the people who always tell you to read theory and shit, even though they can't understand basic words. It's like, yeah, Queeman is probably the only one. I wonder how that feels for the other ones, that they basically got outclassed by Chud Logic's twink bastard son. As for what I'm doing, I actually am going on a break after this, by the way. I'm not gonna make a load of content about this. I just wanted to clarify things that were mostly like irritating me in terms of the way people
dude.
were behaving.
You're not built for this.
I'm not gonna make a content arc out of this. I'm ultimately just like pretty disappointed. I didn't really want things to go. I really would like to imagine there'd be a world where things didn't go this way, but you know, here we are. I look forward to sometime
That's
coming
true. Love mass ownage is vetted candidates. Well, I mean, here's the thing about running for political office. It takes an entire year of your life. How many of you could quit your job for a year and run for office? How many of you have the ability to just stop working for a year and run for office? It's pretty hard for someone to both be a responsible adult and also quit their job unless they're already rich. That's the big impediment.
back when I can like brand myself as the only remaining political streamer who doesn't have sex scandals and doesn't support terrorists. For some reason, it's always one or the other.
You support IDF. And what terrorists do I support? Tier 3, Okati, thank you for the tier 3. Terrorists. A word that just means anybody who resists the United States of America with by force of arms.
But no, as much as I'd love to capitalize on this and farm content of it for the next month, nah, the break starts after tomorrow, like properly, when I don't have to worry about this bullshit. Okay, that's us. Love the misogynistic implications to Pixie by calling you a cuck over all this and not prioritizing victims first. Yeah, it is what it is.
I prioritize the victims. That's why they quote tweeted me, and we're very thankful from our community. For example, one of the members of our community gave $10,000. That's crazy.
If you were concerned about keeping things quiet, what are your thoughts on Sunday's actions? President Sunday? Okay. I need to get all my comments on this in just for the time being. Like, President Sunday has, for reasons that will probably only become apparent to him in the next 200 years, has done so much more damage than help anyone. Usually whenever Sunday does something stupid, I'll be like, okay, probably going to take a 6-month break from talking to him. Maybe a 1 month break.
Are you going to cover
maybe a
Tulsi
week.
Cash? Probably.
For Sunday, it's forever. There's no. I'd become friends with Hassan before I become friends with Sunday. Like, just so you guys know.
Nobody asked you to be their friend, Lonerbox. Nobody asked you. I watched the Sunday video. I ended up not promoting it because he's a dumb piece of shit. And I say this with all the true disrespect to President Sunday, but the reason why I never watched his video or promoted it to you guys is because in his mind, if somebody commits a horrifying crime against you, if you sue them, that makes you equivalent in some way. So the fact that Pixie was saying to Destiny, I want to punish Destiny for leaking my private videos, that's somehow evidence that she's bad now and she's profiteering. And it's like, no, motherfucker, if somebody commits a crime against me, I will want them to have to pay for it. Especially if they're a rich motherfucker who gets away with it with impunity. This is why President Sunday is a dumb piece of shit. There's this dumb opinion that if somebody wrongs you and you sue them for money, somehow that makes your the crime done against you not bad. If somebody commits a crime against me and I have a cause of action, I'm going to sue them for every fucking red cent I can get, especially if they're a rich piece of shit. Fuck you. And if you ever questioned somebody's victimhood because they sued somebody for money, you're an asshole. Fuck you. It's a punishment. In our capitalist society, taking somebody's shit is one of the most effective punishments that we can do. I hope Pixie makes every dollar she wants. I hope she bankrupts Destiny. Fuck you, President Sunday. He insinuated she was extorting money from him. Yeah, it's not extortion. It's called, I'm going to sue you for the crimes you committed. That's not extortion. That's a legal threat based on grounds. It's not extortion to say, pay up. Or else. You owe me, you fucking criminal. That's not extortion.
What a despicable, like, rancid fucking cunt. Obviously, because he has decided to behave in the most irresponsible, brain-dead, destructive kind of way. President Sunday has, I think this is him in Spicy Chat. He's very quickly decided to throw in.
Lonerbox is fundamentally self-interested and cowardly. He disappeared more or less silently right when this was accelerating. Alternatively, Destiny had him in mind when he thought of the 20 others he's take down with them. Part of me wonders if Lonerbox isn't partly responsible for spreading the leaks around. And by the way, I don't know about this second one. This is just speculation, but this first one is objectively true. I may not like President Sunday because he's stupid comments about Pixie, you fucking asshole. But he's right about this. Lonerbox is fundamentally self-interested, and he realizes that his whole community was built off of orbiting Destiny. Now, you know who isn't this kind of, honestly, I have been surprised. The content creator that I dislike because he was a Destiny orbiter, and that's just embarrassing, but who's very self-aware of what he is, which is he understands that he's a scumbag and a lowlife. All right. However, who actually took on Destiny head on when he felt like Destiny harmed his friends, which shows a certain type of character, is the J Stalker guy. Apparently his name is not Jew Stalker. That was just a lie made up by Destiny. Sorry for spreading that. But that J Stalker guy found out that his friends were being sexually abused by Destiny through these revenge porn links, and he just went on the attack and disassociated with himself. Which means, even though he's a scumbag lowlife, and he knows that, he at least has the moral system of, oh wow, you're sexually harassing my friends, you're mistreating my friends, I'm going to call you a piece of shit. Lonerbox is such a fucking cowardly little bitch that he just slinks away in shame without doing anything to right the wrong. What a loser.
Alternative explanations. Lonerbox is fundamentally self-interested and cowardly. He disappeared more or less silently right when this was accelerating. Alternatively, Destiny had him in mind when he
How's
thought
IRI doing through this whole thing? Who? How is IRI doing these days? I mean, everything he said. By the way, the most narcissistic. Wow. I remember when Destiny got banned off of Twitch. If somebody, Tiny, if you could find me this tweet, it's one of my favorite tweets of all time. When Destiny got banned off Twitch, I'm Really Important said, everybody should make plans to move to a different platform because politics on Twitch is dead. Without Destiny, he was the only creator that would help people who were not already big. The politics on Twitch is toast. That was one of the dumbest things I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. I remember the last time I talked to this first of all, when I talked to this guy, last time I talked to this guy in person was at like a TwitchCon many years ago. And he was such an ingratiating little smarmy fuck. And also the name, I'm really important. I'm really important. That's incredible. I just want to show like career trajectories. I would say at about sometime in early 2019, Destiny declared me his enemy. I would say it was probably like November or December 2019, and tried his best to like deplatform me. He said that nobody should have me on their stream. If anybody has me on their stream, he'll punish them. I only am using him to gain clout, and I'm irrelevant. So stop supporting Mike from PA. This was somewhere around November, December 2019. This is my career since then. So I was at 260 viewers, somewhere around there. Now we're at average for January was 3,739. 110 hours streamed. So we were like, what 150 times? I mean, like, we're like, what, or like, sorry, like 15 times bigger now, something like that. How's his career? So he was streaming before me. Let's see here. So he was at 58 viewers in August of 2019. 50 some hours streamed. Now he's at 226. Not bad. Not bad, man. Way to go. I mean, you're down off your peak. The line's kind of flat. I don't know. I just think maybe this isn't for you, you know? Every single one of his like most liked things are Destiny related. Here he is at an pro-Israeli protest. There's an Israeli flag.
Bottle at me before you leave. Another one.
Listen.
Yeah. No, come on. No, you said.
Her number.
No.
I want to get her number.
No, you're
Let me just get her number.
Whoa,
You're not.
I don't know. Just career trajectory. Something to keep in mind, chat. Something to keep in mind. According to Twitch Tracker, I'm the 233rd largest English channel in the world. 514th overall. Wow, that's pretty good. How are you doing, man? You'll get there. You'll get there one day. Keep it up, man. Keep trying. Keep it up.
20 others he'd take down with him. Part of me wonders if Lonerbox isn't partly responsible for spreading the leaks around. What the f is this? Is this just like play a game of guess the accusation? Random accusation generator? What the f? He's obviously on the back foot a little bit, because I think most people agree that he behaved like an absolute cunt in this whole escapade. it was going to come out eventually he was just a catalyst. No, he's not a catalyst. He is like a nuclear level of careless, destructive, self-interested, just like all the bad, every
notice
bad.
Notice that Lonerbox is mad at President Sunday for basically for showing the leaks. This is actually what he's mad. That's why he keeps calling it destructive. Like, what did President Sunday destroy? What did President Sunday destroy? The only thing President Sunday destroyed was Destiny. Now, that's the only person who was hit. Like, I guess Lonerbox as collateral damage. Oh, I found it? Oh, thank you. This will close off the I'm really important segment. Twitch politics is pretty fucked with Destiny and Vosh banned. You think Assad is going to help anyone grow or go on panels? LOL. Time to think hard about opting out of Twitch partnerships so I can stream on YouTube and Twitch. What a bummer. This will age about as well as this prediction. What was the other prediction he made? What was the other thing? Without Destiny, the Twitch politics space will be a ghost town in 6 months. People don't realize how much he props up our slice of Twitch. No other big streamers go on politics panels or bring smaller streamers on their channel. I recommend everyone start expanding to YouTube. I wrote LOL. This was September 20th, 2020. Now, if you were to show I'm really important this, the first thing that he would do is ban you. Because he can't handle this. He can't handle this. If he saw this, I laughed at him. I mocked him. I said his opinions and predictions were stupid. I said, my stream is 5x bigger since your last prediction of Doom, by the way. Nice of you to unblock me to comment. I hope you're doing well, Michael. You blocked me for laughing at your last prediction of Doom, so okay, Keck W. Let's see what people wrote in my replies. You aren't one to talk about bad predictions, my guy. Okay. Nothing ages as bad as your terrible takes on anything. Being scuffed Assad waiting room isn't a feat. Go back to being homeless, Mike. You're not a politics guy. Not really. All you care about is clout. You grift children. IRI bans them. Actually, my audience is one of the oldest on Twitch. Objectively, according to the numbers. This is all Destiny viewers, by the way. Humiliated by what? Beating Destiny in a debate launched my career. Tell him thanks, by the way. I can't seem to find his Twitch channel. Oh, man. I haven't changed a bit. I haven't changed a bit. By the way, this is what he was good Hobbit form. You're saying that I look like world famous actor Anthony Serkis or Andy Serkis. Is that his name? It's Andy Serkis, right? Andy. Yeah, Andy Serkis. One of my favorite actors, by the way. Hell fucking yeah, dude. I do look like him. He's the fucking GOAT. His scenes in Andor are some of my favorite scenes of all time. Of like any recent show produced with slop. Hell yeah, dude. By the way, every single one of these people, I wonder if they still, what are they do? What are they saying about Destiny? What are they saying about Destiny, guys? Wait, is he a Hassan fan now? Oh, this guy's defending me now? I converted this guy? Nice. All right, that's good. Redemption arc.